Hey guys, it's Boy, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how you can create a table view in JavaFX, how you can add some data in the table view. In this tutorial I'll teach you how you can now select any item that has been selected. So I'll create a new project, a JavaFX, then JavaFX FXML application, then select next. Then now here I'll type in the name of the project, so I'll just call it table view, so nothing much, and then finish. Click the finish button, and then now here we have an FXML file, a Java class file, and the controller class file. And so let us expand here. So in this FXML file, I'll open it. I want to open it in the scene builder. So what we'll be doing now, just select this button and the label. I want to delete the content inside the end capping. So you can now decide to resize the end capping. So once you have done that, now we will need a VBox. So select this VBox into the end capping, and then right click it and fit it to the parent. Fit it to the parent. So after you've done that, now you're good to go. Now type in the table view, like table view, drag it and drop it inside the VBox. So that's it. We'll be creating a simple table view that holds the name, the contact, and the residence of a person. So let us duplicate the third column, and then what we'll need, we want every column to be sized the same. So select this table view, come to the properties here, and give it a constraint resize policy, so that every column should be equal in its size. But you can decide to resize it without that property. So select the first column, and here I'll be saying name, and then I will now again say the residence, then phone contact. So that's it about this table view, and then this table view, let us size it something like that. And then now that we have this table view, I'm going to show you how now we can supply data to this table view. So to do that, now we will have to go to the code here. So here I'll give this table view an ID, and I will call it contact view. So because we will be doing some contacts in this table, so contact view, and then select first the first column, and then come and give it an ID, like we can call it names, and then the second ID is we'll call it residence, and then the third column we'll give it an ID phone, just the way the label is. So after doing that, now we are good to go. You can just resize this and then make the controller by just right clicking the FXML file and making the controller. So some changes will be made. So first of all, let us delete the button and this method. So you can see this data for tables, it is different. You will need an observable list that will be taking the values, a list of values into the table view, and then you will need another class that will be now defining the type of data model that will be applied to the table view. So what you'll do first, we will create a class that will set the data model, and we'll be using this class to now access the values of the selected items in a table view. So that's the importance of this class. So this class is to set the data model type that it will be expected or be supplied to the table view. So we will call our class contacts. Just type in contacts, and even before we do that, just you can restore it the way it was. So let us create that class first. So I will it's a public class. So public static class. We want to define some data model that will be used. So public static class, and let us call our class contacts. And then so once you do that now, that's it. No brackets. And then now once you do that now, we will create a final simple, so a private final simple string property, and I'll call it num, something like that. And then I'll do some imports, and I'll import this simple string property, and I'll paste this 3 times because we have 3 columns. So don't worry about everything. So just type in the phone. The next is the residence, so I'll just type in res, and then phone will just type in phn. So we will create a constructor. So in this constructor, and I'll call the constructor, and the constructors are always named after the name of the class it is in. So contact, and then that's it. And then so in this constructor are more like methods. They all contain these brackets, and inside this brackets we'll put in some parameters. So this constructor will be taking in some 3 strings. And this is the type of data model that will be supplied to the table view. So the first 3 we can just call it the same. Remember, you can just name it anything, but for the purpose of not confusing if it is a large application, just call it the name of the simple string property. So it won't bring problems. So string res, and then string. So it will be taking 3 parameters and then assigning them to the earlier declared strings. That is simple strings. It will be assigning the first parameter that will be entered into this class, and the same data model will be assigned to this first simple string property. So this I will be assigning it. So this name equals to new simple property. Now, so once you've done that, just copy this, and I'll just paste it 3 times because to save us some time. Then res. After doing that, now here I'll just type in the phone number. So after doing that, now I think you're good to go. So what you do next is very crucial. So here, right click. If you're using NetBeans, or you can just type in some methods, but I'm using NetBeans, so I'll insert some code. Right click and then insert some code, then getter, then select this class, then all of this, and then it will create 3 methods. But I don't want, because this is a method that has a return type of simple string property, but we want it to return some a return type to be string, so that it can be something that you can read, because you cannot read a simple string property data type. So what you'll do, just change the return type to string, and then here as usual it will be getting the value of the method num.get. So it will be getting the string value of the string property. So this return type will be getting the string of the return type. And then after doing that again, ERP again, here will also change the return type of these other methods, and here it will be getting the string value of the simple string property, and here even phn it will be getting the string value of the simple string property. So once you've done that, I think now you're good to go. and you're good to go. Now we can come again now to the table view. Now define now the class it will be assigning its values to. Contacts, that will be the class, the name of the class. You can just copy this class and paste it here. So the first data type model will be the class, and then here typing the type of data type it will be holding. So that one is the data model data type. So copy, paste it, paste it. So the class it will be taking the values from, and the data type class, data type class, data type, and this class defines the data model of the table view. So that's it. And when you do that, now we can create a method now that will be supplying data to our table view. So to do that, now let us create a method private void load data, and into this, and I'll call and put it into curly brackets. And then what I'll do now, I'll first of all I'll create an observable list that will be assigning values to the table view. So observable list, and I can define this observable list to be taking values that are of data model of the class that we have defined below. So contact. So, and we'll name this observable list, and then now we'll create fx collections observable array list. So once you've done that, now import these libraries. So fx collection, and now you can import the observable list. So once you've done that, now we're good to go. We can continue with our method. The first thing is to check if there was anything in the observable list. If maybe this method was called twice, it is important to clear everything before this method runs in the observable list, so that to avoid duplicate types of data added in the table view. So if you don't do this, when this method is called twice, it will not be clearing its own table view. So the table view will have duplicate data. Then now let us continue now to the next. So we'll be adding some data into this observable list. So let us add some data. So I'll add. So I'll say add all, and into this I'll create a new the name of the class, which is contact, and then here I'll type in the name. The first we want to put the name in the first column. So the name. Let me just start with my name, boy, and the second column is simple. I'll just type in the name of my residence, so cool. And then the third one, I'm supposed to type in my contact, so I'll just type in some fake contacts plus 254 100 So that's it, and end with a semicolon. So it will be taking. So remember, we define this as the parameters. So if you by any chance remove any of these, like put two types of string, it creates an error. So until it be string type. So you remember, you can just not replace this one with an integer. Because we have already defined the last one will be a string. So that's it about them. So just type in the name, the contact name. So once you've done that, now copy this, because we want to add at least 3 items into the table view. Even you can decide 4 items. The next one, I'll just change the name, and I'll call it Marian Jones. This one lives in South Africa. And the contact, let's just change it to 444, and I don't know the source code, so I'll just say +201. and then that's it. The third one, I'll just call him John Kamau, and this one lives in Nyeri, city in Kenya. Then that's it. And then the third one, the fourth information is the lady again, and I'll just name him Joy Charono. This one lives in Kericho. The address is 26777, something like that. So these are just examples. And then now that we have added some data into the observable list, and let us put this information in the table view. So to do that now, very simple. Now call the name of the table view, which is contact view. So I'll say contact view create items. Then here I'll just type in the name of the list, the observable list. So now we are good to go. You can call this method here, but there's one thing we have not done. We have not initialized our columns. So to do that, very simple. So we will create a method to do that. So private void, and I'll call it initiate columns, so something like that. So this method that I'm creating is to initialize this the columns, because when these columns are not initialized, and no data can be displayed in the table. So this is very important. So the first thing, call the first column, so names, then set the cell value factory to the cells. So it will be now we are setting the cell value factory to these cells, and then now in this cell value factory we will create a new. So this property value factory that we are adding will be implementing the cell value factory then into here in the bracket, and now place the name, the string value of the what you are declared in the constructor. So the data type you are declared in the constructor. So do some imports here, and that be it. So when you now copy this, paste it 3 times at least for the 3 columns, and then now let us type in the name of the 4th column. So residence, this the second column, and then the 3rd column 4. So we'll be changing the strings here, phn, as we had done earlier, and here I'll just call it res as we had done in the class. So remember, it should correspond to what you the data type that is here. So this one will be for the name, the residence, and the phone number. So once you've done that, now call this method even before the other method. So we'll be calling this as the first, so that it can be initiate these columns before even adding some data into it. So to do that now, let us build our application and see what we have in this first section of the table view. So let us run the file and see what we have. And here we go, we have values in our table view. So this is a success in the first section of our table view. Now we know how to add data inside the table view in JavaFX and FXML. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to teach you how you can get the selected value in a table view. Like when you select this column, how can you get this selected cell, the value of this selected cell, and how can you get the value of the selected column and display it maybe in a text field, or maybe submit it anywhere So I'm going to show you in the next table view. So thank you for watching this video. Hope I help you on how you can add data to an observable, how you can add data to a table view using observable list and the class model that I have shown you, and how you can initiate columns in JavaFX and FXML. So hope you learned something about that. So let us meet in the next tutorial, and I'll show you how now you can submit some data of the selected items in the tutorial. We'll just be using this same application. So thank you for watching this video.